Hey folks, I don't know if this is covered somewhere or not, but I've had friends that have ran into this problem, so I wanted to knock it out real quick. We had a microwave blow up on us, and the magnetron was going to cost more. Uh, it was about $85 for the magnetron to fix it. It's a pretty easy fix. If you've never done it before, look into it or send us a couple of questions. I'll let you know it's real simple to do. Got to knock the power out of the capacitor so it doesn't light you up. But besides that, it's real safe. Anyway, so I found some people that bought a brand new one, but they brought the wrong size. And I think you had 48 hours or something like that to take it back to Lowe's, and they were 72 hours out or anyway. So it was brand new. This was like a $300 unit. I picked it up for $100 under. I still get it to warranty and all that. But it fits my hole. So when you buy an I call them a Vent-A-Hood microwave, or a microwave with Vent-A-Hood, but people have started calling them, ow man, I just sharpened my blades, my knife, and look, I just, dadgum, boy, I sharpened that thing. That was close. Anyway, so these come with the Vent-A-Hood, the fan blowing for down wall. So you can set this thing up a couple of different ways to where it picks up from the bottom, and it can blow out through this way and come up. It can blow out through the back through a vent, or you can have it go up this way. They're normally set up to blow out the front, so you have to pull these two screws here, and you fold this up and get you some little cutting pliers like this here, and you cut the little tabs. Bink, bink. I cut the two on the sides, and then I'll cut two on the top or the bottom, and then I'll wiggle it and break the other two, right? So this folds straight up like this here, okay? So this flap like this, you'll fold it up like this here. You cut the little squares out here, and there's a little plug in here that you have to unplug, and then there's two screws. See, blower screws right here? You take these two screws out, and you pull the blower out, and you just rotate it and set it right back down in there, and then put those two screws back in, and that will determine on if this thing's going to blow straight up, if it's going to blow out the back, or it's going to blow out the front, right? So that's not why I'm making this video. I'm making this video because of this, okay? You have a little vent here. Just, you won't have this part. This little square part here, okay? And it's like a little flap. And they've got little bitty tabs on the inside of these things, and when you put your rectangle to square on here, what'll happen, see how it has an offset to it? Okay, so when I put that on the wall, that's obviously not going to be that way. It's going to go this way, okay? And I've had buddies, they've put that the wrong way, and they've also put this little flapper the wrong way. So you see how the fan is turning this way? It's going to blow up. The majority of the air is going to be right back here. So you want the hinge to be to the front. So you want that flap to function this way, right? If you have the flap on the other side and the hinge on this side, then what's going to happen is this is going to blow right into that hinge, and you're not going to get the same amount of CFM through it, or the amount of air through it. So once you get all of that put in there right, then you want to screw this down, and getting it up there is going to be a struggle because you've got to wiggle it all through up in there and make all that fit. Sometimes it's best to leave the screws off, but the problem is trying to get the screws in after you get it up there. If you don't have the clearance, sometimes you have to put those screws in first. So I don't know, I can't remember. It's been a long time since I remodeled this kitchen. This kitchen used to have cabinets hanging down here, and had cabinets, they hung way, way down here. I think you only had about 18 inches of clearance, you know. And when my mom was still alive, I let her take a sledgehammer and bust them out because she hated them. And we covered everything. This is about, I guess, 8 years old now, but I covered all the cabinets with Formica. And I built new shelves, and I covered the inside of the doors with Formica. I built new doors. I forget what they call this, picture frame or something like that, man. This is, just a beautiful pine. And then I did the distressed black stain on the frame part, and it kind of all came together. It's probably about time to sand them down and do them again, But there used to be a stove in there. I took all that stove out and everything, and we made all of this. My mom was short, so I made this here for her so she could reach in there. And let's see here. I made her a pegboard down there so she can move pegs around to hold different. And my wife doesn't utilize it as much, and made new drawers. I made all new drawers. Handmade all of these with a table saw. It was fun. I paid a granite company to come in, and because to buy the tools I wanted to do it all myself. To buy all the tools to do this was going to be too expensive. So I hired a granite company to came in. I already had everything leveled and ready for them. And they sent one tech over, and they ended up having to send a second one because this stuff is heavy. But I tell you, when you do this, I would probably recommend a lighter color. I'm an old rock and roller, so I like that black and white look. I think it's cool and fast, but I tell you what, lighter colors are always better. And another thing is too, see if you'll look at this seam, they had redone this. They came back and redid this like 10 times. They promised me that we wouldn't be able to see this. You're going to see that seam after some time. It's just inevitable. There's another one over here, but we wanted it all kind of to look like it was all big, one big piece, and it's just not going to happen. I wanted to make this thing even longer and wider, but the problem was we had to make sure that they could get like hospital beds or whatever through, if there was an emergency situation, because we use this door more than we do the front one, But we've done a lot. I've taken there was sliding glass doors there. There was a big fireplace in that corner. It was horrible. I hated it. It was a gas fireplace. It was ugly as all get out. And we removed walls, and we moved walls, and did all that stuff. And this is very far from what I started this video, but I want you to look at something here. I bought some trim. The trim is very expensive. If you look at this trim here, that trim is probably $10 or $13 a foot or something like that for that big trim. I may be off on that. The smaller stuff, not so much, right? But I want you to look at the two ceilings here. All right. If you look there, and it's a lot more visible by eye and not on camera. But if you look here, if you look at that ceiling and the ceiling here, doesn't this ceiling look a lot lower over here? And doesn't look that one look like a lot higher, right? Well, that's all because of that trim. And I wasn't prepared for that. The smaller trim will make you look like you have a higher ceiling. If you have a larger trim, it makes it look like a lower ceiling. So it's cool because it makes it look like it's different elevations, and that can be a good thing, I guess, as far as visual aesthetics. But sometimes you want high, So anyway, I built all this. This used to be the flooring of this floor here, and that was the leftovers. That is Pergo Max wood flooring. It was like, oh, God almighty, a couple of $100 a box or something like that. And I got it for $14 a box because it was something that somebody ordered at a Lowe's and never picked up. And I wanted to do something with it. So I made these big boxes. Just, I don't know, it was something different to do, and it was too pretty to throw away. So it's about time to take these down and get rid of them, though. I'm kind of getting over them. I'll think of something else to hang up there. But anyway, so back to the microwave. That's the deal. And make sure you got you a buddy to help you out, because these things are a pain in the butt to get in unless you have the stove out so you can get right underneath it. It's hard on your back to lean over that stove and do that. See here, I accidentally broke this when it's coming out, so I've got to re-glue this. That right there, I should have never done that with this knot. You see that knot in there? Yep, that's what happens when you work with a piece of knot. So this is like rich lighter pine. You can kind of smell it. The what do they call it? Well, you know what I'm talking about. But that stuff right there will light with a match and start a fire real quick. Probably not the best thing to have over your stove, eh? Anyway, all right, love y'all. Got any questions? Got to know Joe Hobbies? Like and subscribe. Send us questions and we'll do our best to answer them. And thanks for all the prayers. Wife's coming home from the hospital today. She's en route right now. Y'all be good. Bye.